Virginia's primary election is just days away, and we're taking a look at the most crowded race across all Virginia ballots.
Alex Littlehales fills us in on the stacked Democratic field for lieutenant governor to help you decide who you should cast your ballot for.
The race for lieutenant governor is the most crowded race, period, that voters will see. 6 candidates have fundraised more than $7.5 million for their respective campaigns ahead of Tuesday's Democratic primary. And here's what to know about who's running.
The most likely candidate known across Hampton Roads is State Senator Aaron Rouse. In just 3 years, he's risen from Virginia Beach City Councilman to state senator, and now in his first run for statewide office. He's sponsored several high-profile lawmaking efforts in recent years, including most recently the Save Local Pharmacies Act.
I pushed and secured budget amendments in the form of the Earned Income Tax Credit. I passed bills to not only to support our military communities and members, but also protect our federal workers.
Staying in the state Senate, Gazala Hashmi told 13 News Now maybe it's time for Virginia's first ever all-women ticket. The longtime college professor also chairs the state's Education and Health Committee. She's backed by several progressive advocacy organizations, too.
And I've already begun to respond to the chaos of Washington. I introduced legislation to respond to the Medicaid crisis that is coming in front of us.
Staying in Richmond, the capital city's former mayor, Lavar Stoney, may be the most well-known name in the race. Richmond's mayor for the last 8 years. He's the first African-American Secretary of Virginia under former Governor Terry McAuliffe.
There's one thing to say, you know what, I sponsored this legislation or I took a vote. It's a different thing to say, I've identified a problem, I presented a solution, and I implemented and executed on those ideas. And I think no one else in this race brings that experience to the forefront but myself.
Up to Northern Virginia, there are 3 newcomers to statewide politics. Dr. Babar Latif chairs the Prince William County School Board. He feels his work as an ophthalmologist and a hyper-local elected leader connects him to communities in a way other candidates can't offer.
And I represent the largest group. My district's the largest, over 500,000 people in Northern Virginia. I've done that 3 times. And I've done that in the toughest election, the off-year elections in Virginia. And so when you think about who's going to help the Democratic ticket in the fall, you want somebody who has a record of winning.
Victor Salgado is a former federal prosecutor who's fought corruption in the Department of Justice's Public Integrity section.
The question then became, what do? You have this unique set of skills. You're versed in, the interplay of constitutional power, federal v. state. Can you help out? And the answer to that was yes.
And Alex Bastani considers himself the most progressive candidate, a labor leader calling himself the, quote, Bernie Sanders candidate in the race.
Because I'm the only person in the race that doesn't say Donald Trump's name every 3 seconds. I'm running on a platform of universal health care, $20 an hour minimum wage, student debt relief, and repeal the right to work law.
And with 6 candidates, since Virginia does not use runoff elections, political analysts believe the winning candidate may be determined simply by who has the highest turnout of their respective metro areas. I'm Alex Littlehales for 13 News Now.